Welcome to Listen by Gene Ginsberg. This audio experience and podcast is all about social media, digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and interviews with top entrepreneurs in the digital and social space. I am your host, Gene Ginsberg, digital marketing expert, #1 best-selling author, and award-winning entrepreneur. I will be sharing with you strategies, tips, and tactics on how to grow your business and your social media following. Thanks for listening. Hey everyone, Gene Ginsberg here. Welcome to this episode of Listen by Gene Ginsberg. Very excited, have a very special guest today, Julia Becker Collins. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yes, very excited to have you on and chat more about what you've been up to. So let's always first question, just so it sets some context for our audiences. Tell us about your background.
So I am the Chief Operating Officer at Vision Advertising. We are a full service marketing agency in the Boston area, and we also have a Portland, Oregon office. We've actually been around for 21 years, and we are a 100% women-owned, women-run marketing agency. I have been in the agency and marketing and field for more than 15 years at this point. And I have worked with nonprofits, very small, very large, and with marketing agencies all around the Boston area. I have a master's degree in business from Framingham State University. And I have a bachelor's from UMass Amherst. And last year I was named Worcester Business Journal 40 Under 40. So those are kind of the big highlights about me. And kind of the big thing in 2020 was that while I was securing the financial future of my company and making sure we didn't have to furlough anybody or lay anybody off and helping all of my clients, I was actually also diagnosed with cancer. So I have been fighting thyroid cancer through the pandemic.
Oh my goodness.
And also leading a company. So it's been a complex year.
Wow. Well, I am hoping that everything is going okay with the cancer. That is never, of course, good news. So I hope things are moving in the right direction for you, but that is a lot going on in 1 year. I can absolutely understand that. So what about your business? How has it fared through this whole pandemic?
So it's actually fared really well. Fortunately, we were able to pivot very early, working with our clients to support them and do whatever they needed to really get to a place that was good for them to help them pivot. Just under half of our clients are actually in hospitality and restaurants. And as I'm sure everybody knows, it's just an industry that was so hit incredibly hard by the pandemic. But luckily, so many of our clients started working with us very early on in early March to pivot, to change their strategy and to try to bring in extra income early to try to help weather the storm. And the other, just over half of our business is in professional services. And we were able to work with a number of our clients on that side to actually increase their business, which is great, and see where there are opportunities where there weren't opportunities before. And we as a company took the opportunity to figure out, okay, what other, business opportunities are out there? Should we be adding services right now? Should we be beta testing services? And what additional services and resources should we be offering to small businesses and larger businesses right now? Because it's such a different landscape. So we created a product called Vision University, which is a resource for really small business owners or entrepreneurs or people that are turning that side hustle into a main hustle. And it has a series of free business videos for as a resource for when small business owners don't necessarily have that immediate financial resource to invest in their marketing, but they know they need the help. So we have a huge free video resource library for them. And then we have a very low cost marketing series they can take. And we really wanted to invest in small businesses because we know that marketing is so essential for them, but they might not have the financial resources. So we created that. And then we also pivoted in creating a new service for our larger businesses that we work with and adding podcast sourcing and media sourcing to our portfolio. And we've had just an enormous interest in that because, you know, there's no public speaking right now unless it's on a podcast or a virtual webinar. And so we've been working with a number of businesses that are interested in adding that to their marketing portfolio.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that you guys are pivoting. You know, it's one of those things you just have to do it quickly in a situation like this. And I know that it's like you have to kind of combine the strategy, but at the same time also not be wasting time. So it's like you have to do it like strategically but quickly, you know, without being like, oh crap, I need to pivot, but I also don't want to like lose, you know, momentum, and I don't want to, you know, have holes in my strategy. So I can totally understand that.
It's so challenging to be like, I want to do this right, but I don't want to miss the opportunity. Right. And then also to get buy-in from the team who is so dedicated to doing it the right way. And they are so cautious about breaking things. And it's that balance between do it now and see if it breaks and it's okay, and then also do it the right way and trying to get the buy-in from a team that we have so prepared to do things the best way, the right way, but then also have them understand this is an opportunity to figure it out and pivot, and we can get it to the right place.
This podcast is brought to you by the Digital Marketing Method monthly group coaching program, your methodology for growing your business and your social media following. Join me and my group of supportive entrepreneurs and learn how you can grow your business and your social media following, where we cover topics such as Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, email marketing, and so much more. Go to dmgroup.online, dmgroup.online.
But we need to move quickly. And it's, you know, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Right.
So yeah, it's been, you know, internally challenging, but great. And then externally the same way. And I think you just have to see it that way.
Right. Absolutely. And you mentioned that your company has worked with restaurants and the hospitality industry. So what kind of pivots have you seen happening in that industry? Or if you're, you know, whether that's if you're helping them pivot or just in general, if you're seeing the pivots?
Absolutely. So, you know, of course I've seen really difficult situations, but also I've seen really amazing pivots. So an example being that we work with this amazing Italian restaurant that's family owned and operated, and they shut down for a while at the beginning because they wanted to see what would happen. They wanted to do the right thing and the safe thing. And then they, in consultation with us, decided to open up on a limited basis and do a lot of family style takeout, which they had never offered previously, but this helps to maximize profit and deal with a lot of the supply chain issues they were finding. And it would also ensure that they didn't have to bring in a huge number of people to cook the meals. They were able to test the waters and see if, again, as a beta test, would this work? They've never offered it before. And it was incredibly successful because people were home, but they didn't want to cook. And they could order larger amount of, you know, quantity of food from their favorite restaurant, and they could support a local restaurant. They also did a huge amount of giving back and donations to frontline workers, really, you know, at not charging the frontline workers, obviously not charging the hospitals, just like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of meals for frontline workers that they coordinated, that they dropped off, all being social distance and safe. They are in the Worcester area, and Worcester, Massachusetts got incredibly hard hit by COVID and continues to be. And they did all of that. And I told them, I was like, this is amazing and wonderful, but take photos, take lots of photos, because, it's a PR opportunity. And it just blew up on social media, especially locally at that grassroots level. And it helped to sustain them with people that had never been to their restaurant before being interested, because they saw that this family was interested in giving back during a time that even they were struggling. So now you have people that have never been to the restaurant before that are interested in supporting them, but by buying gift cards or getting takeout because they saw that the restaurant was invested in the community. And it was such a fantastic example of pivoting when you are under stress.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a great story to hear. I mean, I love hearing these kinds of just heartwarming points where we're supporting, we're all in this together, right? We're supporting each other, or at least we're trying to all support each other. So it's great to hear that there's businesses out there that are struggling, but also trying to do whatever they can to support the rest of the community who are also struggling. So that's good to hear. And so that's actually an interesting point that I was going to segue into is, you were talking about using social media. So what are you seeing now when it comes to social media? I mean, in my, just from like my perspective, clients are coming to us because they're like, great, I need to start using social media. I need to have a digital presence. Whereas, before COVID, that was maybe something on the back burner for them. So what kind of changes are you seeing with your clients when it comes to social media?
I mean, I'm definitely seeing a lot of that as well. I'm seeing a lot of, I know I wasn't paying attention to this before, but I really need to pay attention to this now. So I'm definitely seeing that as well. I have more B2B businesses that are interested in social media, whereas before they would just, brush that off during a discovery meeting or, an annual review of their plan, that they were just like, that's not interesting. I have a lot of B2B businesses that are just interested in investing way more in marketing right now than they were previously. Across the board, whether it's blogging, social media, SEO, an overhaul of their website, et cetera. And whether that's because they didn't spend part of their budget on sales, trips, et cetera, or what, there is just more money to be spent on the B2B side. Specifically social media on B2C, the conversations I'm having are, I know I need to save money. This is a difficult time, but I also need to weather the storm. So I can't dial back. What is a strategic move that I can be making with my social media presence so that I am still out there and I am very visible to my audience? But we are doing more strategic moves rather than, hey, it's Taco Tuesday. Don't forget to come in for your dollar tacos. Where can my resources and my advertising dollars be put to have the maximum impact right now? So it's a lot more of that, which I actually incredibly just appreciate, because it has my clients and the businesses I work with thinking in a brand new way, which I love. I want them invested in their success. And these are businesses we've worked with for a long time or a short time. I've brought on new businesses recently, and they just want to work with us as the expert and look at, social media as the example. Okay, so should I be doing a series of Facebook Live events? So if you are like we're a B2B business, and we would normally put on a series of workshops. Okay, but you can't do that right now. So should I be doing Facebook Live events instead? How do you pivot the opportunities available to you with the resource available? And social media definitely has those opportunities. We work with a number of fitness facilities, which in the Boston area were really just incredibly hit hard. The city of Boston actually just rolled back even further with restrictions, and all fitness facilities are actually closed right now. So there's, a lot of difficulty there, but there's also a lot of opportunity for virtual. So a number of the businesses we work with throughout the pandemic, we have been advising them and helping them put on virtual classes. Okay, so do you do that live through Zoom and then create an archived library of recorded classes on Vimeo? Do you do them on Instagram Live? Do you do them on Facebook Live? Like, what is the resource that is going to meet your needs and your audience? Are you charging for them? Are they free, etc.? So it's really trying to help these businesses that have never used social media in that way to capitalize on a more captive audience that's at home in a very cold New England winter, and see what other opportunities are out there. Because if you're doing this virtually, that doesn't mean that they have to be in the Boston area. You could have people attending your virtual class that are in California, that are overseas, etc. So it's kind of thinking bigger.
Absolutely. I love that. Yeah. Thinking bigger, pivoting in a time when pivoting is required, and trying to find new strategies. So I love that. It has definitely been a challenging time for a lot of businesses. So it's good to hear that you guys are helping them and that you're trying to find ways to pivot yourself. So that's fantastic news. So last question is, how can our audiences get in touch with you?
Absolutely. So you can find Vision Advertising online on our website, vision-advertising.com. We are on Instagram at Vision Advertising Rocks, because we do. You can find me personally on Instagram at Julia Rifka. That's R as in Rachel, I, V as in Victor, K-A. You'll see a lot of my dog, my cats, and running. And you can also find Vision Advertising on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And if you're looking for any of our free business resources, we promote them all on Facebook and Instagram.
Great. Yeah, thank you. And that's fantastic that you guys are doing free resources too, because there's a lot of businesses who need that out there now and need the support. So thank you so much for being here. Great to hear your story and to hear how things have changed, but also how you're helping the community in this difficult time. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I really loved this conversation.